There we go. There we go. Yep. All right. Yeah. I swear to God, I'm in so much pain. I feel like I'm going to pass out. I'm just at the office. Called an hour and a half ago to get my medications brought over. They know I can't walk, and I brought my camera because this is typical. There's one piece of shit here who will not open the door, sits and watches the camera. Oh, yeah. Just less than fuck all. What are you gonna do? I just need my medication, please. Sitting right there. Yeah. Must have heard no immigrants coming to this country to have a better life and make everybody else's hell. I never used to think like this, but over the past few years, you got every place that's for rent is by somebody from another country. Every business you go into is owned by somebody from another country, and they treat you like absolute fucking shit. I've got it on my YouTube channel already. Chinese restaurant wouldn't even allow me to buy any food. Tell me to get out because I'm a homeless person. I have money. This place is run by people from another country who literally make every guest here hate it. Look at every other motel in this city is impossible to get into. I've been warning them. You're gonna end up, because they make everybody hate it here. Like literally hate it. You can. I would settle for awful service, but I can't even get anything at all. I asked to get my towels back one day. It took me 12 hours and 11 attempts begging. I couldn't even have a shower, so that ruined the whole day. If I'd have known now, or back then when I got here almost a year ago, what I know now, I definitely wouldn't have wasted my money here. I would have rented 2 storage units and got double everything and lived inside them. Because it would have been a whole lot easier, less work, and way less work, and I would have been able to not have to deal with these demons in human form that work here. They do less than nothing, and I mean, less than nothing, and it's not even legal to rent out. The rooms here, most of them, they have a little bit of an area at the far end to the left where they put people that have money and means to choose to go elsewhere. But they know everybody else here is desperate and fighting homelessness. Nobody stays here unless they're desperate. They don't know. But it's a shit show almost every night. There's always somebody yelling, always ambulances, always people kicking at the door, yelling, screaming, windows being broke. They do nothing. They don't even come out. I stopped the parking lot from even a big brawl. But my training, I used to be a prison guard. I've got a correctional services diploma. Being de-escalating situations is no problem for me. That's what I've been trained in doing. And some car was purposely, the horn was going, sporadically in a pattern that wasn't a pattern, and somebody was holding onto their key fob in a room, and this horn honking, beep, 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 and then stopping and then doing it again a little bit, and then, it was obvious somebody was being a fucking loser. And everybody was, blaming each other, and that's a very annoying thing to have happen. So I tried to de-escalate, and I did. And I called the EPS, and of course I didn't say my name because they wouldn't have come. But there was reason they ran the plate, and there was all kinds of shit going on. Anyways, I ended that. But the owner, who lives in BC, who is a Sikh, and again, I'm not prejudiced, but this is what it's been like. So I'm being blunt. Doesn't even live here. Has a manager totally afraid of doing fucking anything. Yeah, he's a manager of damage control, and walks right past me. The whole situation, walks right past it all, and and looks. You knew what was going on. Doesn't even give a fuck. So anyway, here. They moved me across here like 8 months ago. I said I needed no more problems. How about this for a problem? Here. I don't even have a window pane on part of my window. And when it's minus 30 out, it's fucking cold. And I had begged and pleaded and asked to be put in a different room. And then I finally get an okay. Everything is full. Right. Yeah, sure. And then I finally get an okay from the manager. I can't just do it on command. I may be dead asleep and in pain, which is my norm, or having to work on other things to get my life back. And that's what I do every waking moment. And I can't even fucking walk. I'm using a pole here because the walker is more of a nuisance. I can't push it with my right arm being broken, and at least this gives me something to support myself. Anyway, there's bugs in my room. I'm getting bit. My pharmacist is sending me off. I got mouse shit. It's all kind of mold. I'm gonna do one full video of how bad this is, and I warned them. I've been adjusting, and I've been polite and nice and picking my battles well. Like, I just need somewhere where I can have peace enough and adjust to whatever is humanly possible to get medical care and get my life back by using resources to, well, not even using resources. I've never had a problem, and I've got lots of qualifications and redeeming qualities, and to get another nice place. I've owned 2 houses, and okay, so just to have peace enough to get sleep and eat properly, use a toilet, have hygiene, and be indoors, because being outside, you have no idea. Just go outside. Yeah, I dare anyone to come with me. Same rules. You don't have any health support, so you can't call anyone. You don't know anything at first. You don't have a cell phone, and I'm going to whack you in the back with a baseball bat and break your arm, and then drop you off at the Hope Mission or any shelter, and you see what you can do without calling anyone, and you have no money, a little bit. You can have a little bit of income, but and see how easy it is. So, but no, there is no adjusting to literally what these people can outdo Satan doing. I've been here for almost a year. I've got nowhere because I'm constantly being putting through shit like I just did tonight. Everybody knows I never come out of my room ever, and I don't ask for anything much except a roll of toilet paper a day, and a few garbage bags, and every couple of weeks the bedding and towels to be done. I'm on my phone doing lawyer work and doctoring and trying to find a place and trying to call resources and trying to manage I'm successfully accomplishing, my basic human needs. I spend a lot of time trying to get enough sleep, and I'm in fucking pain. There is no comfortable position. I've needed chiropractor care and physio for over 3 years, but I got the physio and chiropractor requisition. That took a lot of work, and then the AISH worker, Melissa in Grand Prairie, and Gina, the supervisor, I'll never forget. I don't forget anything. I don't even need to write things down. Denied those requisitions. That medical care that AISH is supposed to cover, because of office policy. And I'll never forget just being absolutely like stunned. And then by the time I could figure out, okay, what the hell to do, because I'm dealing with 100 other things all at once, I'm trying to keep the wheels from falling off the bus, I can't keep up. Get another requisition, but then I'm outside, living outside, and I've got nothing, and I'm in pain. I can't get anywhere, and I without being for a cab, all my food I have to eat healthy, diet specific food, replacing things that get stolen by my own daughter, EPS officers, even hospital staff, and definitely places where I've lived. Never homeless people. In fact, one day when I had to call an ambulance and leave everything in the field, I got rained on. This fat bitch, I asked her to go get my $400 worth of food from my storage, one of my storage units, to bring it to me where I was in a field, which was just right across from a place I could panhandle, and just bring my food and bring my tarps, you know. And she left everything at the bottom of the hill, way down the hill. I can't walk down a hill and up a hill. Anyways, I needed this so badly because I was starving and it was going to rain. And she left everything. Fat fucking bitch deliberately left everything at the bottom of the hill, knowing I can't get down like practically a side of a mountain. It was an area where there's a railroad track going down, and an overpass on a busy Edmonton road, and way high up, and so there's, you know, embankments running straight down pretty much. And I was allowed to be there by the CN workers at first. They had no problem with me, but everything was fine. I just needed a little bit of one-time help. And I've never, ever fucking got what little tiny bit of no skin off your ass help I've ever asked for somebody to do, except for maybe 3 times with 3 people buying me some food. And I really super appreciate that. But that's not what I've needed. I've needed a safe, secure, non-chaotic, quiet, drug-free, feasible place to temporarily be while and I could have easily done this all. This is what I'm paying $1,700 a month for almost a year, and I have not been able to get out of here, because every time I try to get out of here, and I need to get out of here, there's some other fucking shit problem that they invent. I know this it's mostly philosophical, but I'll just list things off in the description. But that's for one thing. That. So I asked this piece of shit, his name is Nick, and him and the 4 to 12 guy will do less than nothing. They have literally had people run to their office for help, call the office. I've even called for help, and I've even tried to help other people. And when shit's going down and violent things are happening, people are getting beat up, they just do nothing. I have had to call the office just to tell the manager, you might want to come out of your room. Here, I put just cooperate when I'm upset. Electrical things do things that are weird anyway. And the manager said he's never seen so many light bulbs and electrical things and switches being blown. But that's the thing, we're all energy, we know that. Anyways, I'm not upset. Okay, so this is what I put over my door so that to deter people from literally walking into my room and stealing things like I've had done to me before when I'm dead asleep. Yeah. And so that I don't have to see anything and that nobody sees me. Okay? Okay. So this is, I have to sleep on the floor. Everything's just around me on a harder surface because my back is just absolutely, I literally can't barely get up. I don't make it to the toilet, so I have to have a bucket. It feels like I'm paralyzed to get going, and I have to force myself. And just because I'm doing something doesn't mean it's possible. So I have been told, by doctors after the fact, you were walking on a broken leg for months. That's impossible. And when I was trying to get the x-ray done and tell the doctors before that, right when I broke it, that my leg is broken. I've never felt that pain before, and I jumped off the back of my truck, and I know exactly. I broke the long bone between my top of my leg and my hip, and wow, was that ever a pain. And I was just being told, no, you're walking, so that's not possible. You're walking, so that's not possible. Just go walk. And your my x-ray was read wrong by a general practitioner. That happens all the time. And then, like 4 months later, when I literally felt like I was a dog that got hit by a car, and I've been pushing myself. I was landscaping. I was standing on top of a ladder. I was, with my hands up above my head as high as I could reach, with pruning shears for this client that wanted the top of her tree trimmed. He wanted it round, and I was balancing it with my feet on the step ladder and like that, and I could block out pain. But I can't. If I can't block out pain, then there's a problem. Because I'm excellent. That's my strength. I can block out pain. That's how I've been going. And if I'm angry, then that's even better. Because then if I'm angry, and I don't get angry, but I'm running on anger, because I didn't deserve this. I haven't done anything wrong in 5 years. I fled an abusive relationship. My mom died. I'm autistic. I lost my only support. And then there's a backstory that I have. My daughter was literally stealing everything from me, bleeding me dry, and teaming up with my ex, whatever the situationship, to tell him where I was and to embolden him to keep stalking me and ruin my life. And she was doing the same thing. And then my son, who, when I left here with the intention of coming back to Edmonton, I came back here like 3.5 years later, and it was hell to get back here. And I needed emergency kidney surgery too. And he never gave me any indication at all that he was going to be the one who would leave me under a bridge to die and not care and tell me I don't have anything to offer. We were so close before I left, and he was protective and loving, and like, it's all over my channel already, and my Facebook page, and everybody knows that, I lived for my son. And anyway, I'm not going to get back into that. He's been like the most abusive, hurtful person ever to me. He has finally destroyed my spirit, and that was impossible. I'm 55 years old. My homeostasis was being happy, but every time I tried to talk to him, or he would just say the most meanest things. He wouldn't help me, even though he's driving a truck I bought him, and just the most hurtful things ever. And if you can imagine anybody verbally and emotionally abusing you, as bad as it gets, then times up 100. He destroyed my spirit of being happy and resiliently. Well, I'm resilient to a point, but like, happiness will take you a long way if you're positive and you're full of hope and you're happy and you have something to live for. And that used to be my joy, my joy with my kids. And all they did was deliberately, one of them caused me to be homeless, and the other one keep me that way. I'm going to list things in the description. This is a lot of philosophical things, and it won't make sense to people unless I put things in the description. So read. it's just really hard. It's impossible. It's counterintuitive for me to like go there and describe every thing in detail. I've never lived like that. It's impossible for me to do and to describe things for to doctors and EPS officers and lawyers and everybody trying to get help for the things I never needed help with before. It's not only dehumanizing, it's giving me PTSD because no psychiatrist would say, oh, just keep on dwelling on problems and repeat them and go over them over and over in your head. There's a saying that's probably 1,000 years old, or a redundant question. What is the definition of insanity? Well, it's doing the same things over and over and over again and expecting different results. There you go. But in order to get the medical care that I desperately need, because I can't do my own surgeries, I can't do my own chiropractor care, or I need a bit of physio too. And there's something seriously blocking my colon. This has been over a year, and I've been describing this. I have all the signs of colorectal cancer, or some other cancer growing around my lower bowel and blood and mucus, and it takes my breath away, and it takes a lot of time, and it's not exactly messy, and I have to use my own fingers to open up my colon down there to have anything come out. And I know I'm acutely familiar with what is lumps and what is not impacted anything, and I've got big hard something down there. And my mom had a hysterectomy when she was 36 years old. She never told me why. She just said it interfered with her riding horses to have her period, but she never told me anything. And then she ended up with breast cancer at 67 years old, and she didn't even have breasts. She's the least likely person to get breast cancer ever. And then she had 4 rounds of chemotherapy, and it ended up in her brain. So she died of brain cancer, and she died on the phone with me just shortly after I put my belongings in storage and gave up my beautiful condo to get rid of this obsessed, narcissistic, malignant sociopath who I couldn't get rid of. And don't think, oh yeah, call the police. I can't call the police. I successfully sued the St. Albert RCMP 25 years ago, and I was awarded financial compensation. Ever since then, I've been outright told when I called, we're not helping you. Right when I got raped, shortly after. And that's a whole nother story. I wouldn't believe what I have to say if I didn't experience it either, but I can prove everything, and I'm gonna foip the ever-loving shit out of every record, every file on me. And now that I'm not running on happiness and joy, I'm really running on anger. And on behalf of myself and everybody else who goes through this, which is homeless people with no fixed address, who are the best people in the world. If I couldn't do that, I know that I can successfully sue, and I don't need a lawyer. I've sued the St. Albert RCMP, Boston Pizza, and Sears Canada by going to the top of the food chain and doing it myself. I'm very well educated, and I have an IQ of 140, and I'm not a litigious bitch at all, or I'd be putting this place on my list of people to sue. But you know what? They're not worth it. They're not worth it. There's bigger fish to fry. And anyways, here, I didn't have anything when I got here. Everything I've got here is It's, yeah. Oh, by the way, I haven't even had time to brush my hair in like over a month, so I think I'm going to have to cut it off. I had long, beautiful hair. Here. Okay, can you see that? Filth. And one of the fan blades flew off and almost hit me in the head. This is more than gross. More than gross. This is the whole thing. The whole thing is filthy. This is a petri dish of bacteria and mold, and food and fungus, and I can't even breathe in here, and I continually have sinus infections that I have had to get antibiotics for. The pharmacist is wonderful. Yeah, anyway, the shower head didn't work. I can't even. It's filthy in here. Nothing works. And yeah, here, $1,700 a month. Here's a tiny little fridge. I can't even really see. You can't even get anything into. Like, it's a tiny little thing. I've never. You ask for anything. It's a. I've never been told to go fuck myself in Punjabi so many different ways. I don't. But tonight, it's like 2 in the morning, and I had to get some of my sleeping meds because I don't take painkillers, and I only take something to help me sleep. Okay, well, that is just a fucking nightmare, and I really needed that. Because I don't get any sleep, and it just takes me a lot of work to get sleep because I have to get up and go pee. I have a bladder condition, and then by the time I get to the bucket, that takes a lot of work, and I have to really go through a lot of pain and pushing and effort and anxiety, and then I have to relax myself to, have a bodily function, and then I have to go back, get comfortable again, and I can't even turn over. I can't even get comfortable here, but, nobody can say I am not doing everything I can to make my life better. This may look like a lot of nonsense here, but I didn't have anything here. I've got one bin of clothing, that's it. I have a lot of supplements because I know what I'm doing, okay? I know what I need, I know how I feel, I know how to read any tests that I've done, I know what my history is, and I know that I'm as malnourished as can be, and I've bought everything I can that I need, and it's a regime. I take, I have to take certain supplements on an empty stomach, and then once I eat something fatty, I take the fenbenzynol and the charcoal. That is a cancer killer, and I got the ivermectin. Why not? I haven't been diagnosed, but I might as well. My mom had the genes, obviously, like Angelina Jolie, who had her uterus and her breasts taken away, removed, because there's a certain gene that you'll get cancer. And I'm not a hypochondriac. I don't even think about it, but I'd rather not. I've always used my will and Yahuwah to get through everything. But you know what? I'm a human being, and anyway, it's all a regime I'm doing, and stuff to do my own physio, and I listen to healing frequencies, and I read the Bible, I pray a lot, and I'm very thankful for my blessings, and I'm not going to let these garbage human beings that get pleasure off of somebody reacting. I'm not going to give them that. I'm not going to let other people cause me to be upset and cause my vibration to go all haywire. that's when you block, that's what Satan wants. That's what these evil little demon shit people want. Because that is when you block your blessings and you don't think properly. So that takes a lot of work, because I really want to do something really, 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 really bad sometimes. But the more you practice that, the easier it gets, and then you can see them like unwinding because they're not getting any pleasure. Just have your camera on all the time. And I'm going to get artificial intelligence classes. I really need those because I miss 90% of the really epic shit that happens to me. Or people try to put me through. I want to stop saying happens to me. I want to say people try to put me through. This happens to me sounds like a victim. I'm not a victim. I'm not a victim. I've had a philosophy this whole time. I will determine my own level of suffering. Thank you very much. So I got to keep my head in the game. And be blessed up, not messed up. And, being in this much pain is exhausting. Absolutely exhausting. And but I feel a lot better, way more energy from taking the supplements. And I've done a lot of research to figure out which ones I need, which are the best. And I only have an abusive disability income, which is nothing. I could have, that's another story. Yeah, anyways, God bless. I'll be fine. I know I will. But I have to see a new doctor. It's taken me a year to work up the nerve to go and try that again, and put together an email with some information about me and what condition I'm in, and qualify myself, and I also have to do that for my lawyer, and because I'm going to trial. One of my landlords, one of the places I was at, which is a trap house, the guy tried to kill me. And the EPS just take advantage of anything. They don't. I've got it on my phone. Yeah, they don't come when I call. Yeah, but they sure come right away when somebody else calls, and they charge me with everything. But I keep winning, and I haven't needed a lawyer, but this time I do. And my life and liberty depend upon me doing those two things, and I have to deal with assured income workers to get them to I'm in arrears this time. I've had to invest into getting my food delivered from Walmart for a month, and getting supplements I need, and getting shit done and paid for. So I wasn't able to pay for all the month's rent, and this place is just gonna have to fucking wait. If I get threatened and hurried up, I'm going to tell them once again, like I did before, when I was 3 days late. I will call Alberta Health Services. They will inspect this place, occupational health and safety, and they will shut you down. And I will also call income support and tell them that you fudged the numbers, and you won't get any income from people who are disabled sent to you. But I'd rather not, and I think it's better if I just don't say anything and play stupid like they do. Because you know what I realized? If I had 3 wishes, I'd wish that I literally can't talk and that I'm deaf. And I really super would. I wouldn't even ask for all the money. The third one would be that my kids have a happy, healthy life, and instead of being miserable and suffer. And that's it. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Yeah.